Hey, hey, hey. It is Q&A day. Hi, it's Michael Loge. We're live here every Friday, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and I'm here to answer your questions. Well, you can ask me anything, but more specifically, you can ask questions about law of attraction. You can ask me questions about your life's purpose, and you can ask me some NLP questions. And of course, I have our expert resident emotion code, body code practitioner joined us this morning, John in Verarity. Good morning.
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be here. Yes, my name is John in Verarity. I'm certified in the emotion code and certified in the body code. I help people reducing chronic pain, anxiety, reducing stress, and increasing clarity, prosperity, physical, mental health. And I'll be representing the emotion code today. So if you have any emotion code questions, please ask. Now's your time. It's your moment.
Yeah, so we've been having some great success with this new format, and we're probably averaging like 7 to 10 questions. So that's a lot in 30 minutes. So we want you, John, tell them what they need to do if they're watching live. And if they're watching after the show, they can still ask. But we're here live today. So what can people do to get their question asked today?
In the comments, ask away. Simple as that. Put your question in. Get it in early so we can get to it. And we have had a lot of questions lately. It's a great format, a lot of good feedback. People are loving it. And that's it. Just ask.
Yeah, we're expecting to be about 30, 35 minutes today. So sit down, sit back, relax with a cup of coffee and a pen and paper in your hand. John, let's introduce and welcome some of the friends that joined us. I'll start with our friend Helena. She is with us nice and bright and early this morning. So good morning and hello to Helena. And Natasha Paula Samuel from the UK. She's giving us a hello as well.
And Don Bohem is here. Says good to be here. And Jenna
hey Don,
Logan
good morning.
Says hi. Don't know how long I could stay. She's here right now.
Yeah, I think her computer's dying or her phone's dying. Yeah, Helena was with us last weekend at this health show in Nanaimo, and she was hanging out with us. And she's saying it was nice hanging out with you guys, so that was nice to hear. Yeah, there's Janet saying my phone is about to die. Good. Who else, John?
Sig Browns here is watching. And Barbara Rowing says, well, good afternoon from the UK to the bros Q&A.
Okay, you're in the right room, Barbara Rowing. Elaine Carlton's from Arizona. Hey, listen, if you are in Arizona, Scottsdale area, and you want to join the Law of Attraction meetup group that follows the work and material from my book, hit Elaine Carlton up. She has exploded with her numbers of people that have joined your group and possibly planning her first meeting. Good. Who else?
We have Jennifer Towner, says good morning from Seattle. And Leslie Owen says good morning.
Hey, Leslie. And Jennifer, good morning. Dia Lewis is saying hello. Howdy, Dia. Nice to meet you, or nice to have you here this morning. And our friend Kelly Carson from BC is with us.
And Permelia Parham, who also joined us in Nanaimo last weekend. She says, good morning, bros. So much fun to hang out with you this morning. Raining in Parksville, too.
That's nice. Oh, good. Good morning. Hey, just a reminder, we are doing Q&A today. Q stands for questions. We need to have them. And A stands for answers, which we have. So who's going to start off with a question this morning for us here? A couple things. I've got a couple seminars coming up. The one in Windsor, Ontario is really building a lot of steam, and the registration numbers are really good this far out. So you can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/events, and you can see all the events that I have coming up. I have one in Victoria, Sunday afternoon, October 21st, and I have one in Windsor, Ontario, which is right across the bridge from Detroit, and that is on November 11th. So check those two out. Tell your friends, bring your camera, get ready to take some selfies, and I'm going to be providing a workbook and walking you through the 3-step process so you can master law of attraction. You'll be picking one subject during that workshop and working through the whole processes. So go ahead to hangoutwithmichael.com/events, and you can register and learn more about that. Okay, John, let's see. Go back out to the room. and see.
Elena has a question.
Okay.
Michael, have you ever thought about teaching a class on how to write a book?
Yes, many times, but it's not the whole. It's not the writing of the book, because a lot of people already have a book idea, and I'm not really a writer, even though I wrote 3 books. What I really am is a seminar instructor, seminar leader, and all 3 of my books were seminars first. What I could do, if I ever want to do this, and I have some notes in my head about how to do this, I would teach people how to organize their material to turn it into a book. Sometimes I meet people say, oh, I've been writing a book for 7 years. And I thought, oh, you know what that means? They're going to spend another 3 years cutting back on the material because they've been writing too much. You know, I have a format when I wrote all 3 of my books. You know what I did first? The cover. I did the cover. Even before I wrote the book, that was my inspiration. I did the cover in color, and that was my inspiration. I put it on the wall. The same with Your Life Purpose. It was called something different for 5 years, but I did the cover first, and that was my. And the second thing I did was the table of contents. Even before I wrote anything, and my strategy was I took a big flip chart piece of paper, yellow stickies, and I said, okay, if I'm going to teach law of attraction, I need to teach the 3-step processes. So I put yellow sticky, step 1, step 2. Oh, I want to teach them about the vibrational bubble. That's on a sticky. Where does that go? So I spent a few hours taking these flip charts and organizing, and then I'd pull back and say, no, that's not the right one. I'd pull the sticky off and I'd put it over there. And then, and this is true for all 3 of my books, after I organized all the thoughts, and I never changed them, what I did on those yellow stickies became my table of contents, and I never changed them since. Where some people spend a lot of time writing the content and then trying to put it into a book. It's much easier to say you want to talk about this and this and this and this and this, and I like to work backwards. How many pages do I want? Well, I want 144 pages. Well, if you have 144 pages and you have 7 sections, like I just kept breaking it down, I thought, you know what? I don't need a lot of content here. So, Helena, I guess that answered your question and gave you some tips. I would love to do it. I'd just love someone to come and say, hey, we've got a group of people that want to learn how to organize my data to put it into a book. And what are the elements? You know, there's a table of contents and there's the About Me page. And my style, because I'm using NLP, I want cartoons, I want characters, I want blank worksheets, I want filled-in worksheets, I want check-off lists. It's a how-to book, not a love book. You know, it's not a romance book. It's a how-to book. And understanding NLP, the styles and how they learn. And a lot of people like that about my books. It's, oh, I like that you got worksheets. I like that you got characters. I like that you got graphics. I like that you got, you take a quote, you put it on a whole page. Then there's other people that don't like that. So build a bridge and get over it. It's my style. Okay, John, who else is saying what?
That was great. Okay. Camellia Bell says good morning.
Hey, Camellia. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Stephanie McLean. Hi, guys. Nice to be here. Thank you. And
Stephanie McLean.
Kim Whitner. Hi. Here from Maryland.
Kim Whitner's in the house.
Ooh, Carol Backley. Good morning from snowy Edmonton.
Snowy Edmonton. What the snow is going
Snowing
on.
in summer in Edmonton.
Oh, I guess it's cute when it first comes down, but well, in Victoria, they would panic over snow because we don't even have a snowplow. So they would panic and they would shut the city down, and it's a big catastrophe here.
Hey, Silvia Blaney. Greetings, gentlemen, from sunny London. At the moment, sunny.
Yes. Helena saying, thanks for the tips for getting my book idea out of my head and onto stickies. Yes. Yeah. Hey, Helena.
Yeah.
Hey, what's Sylvia's question?
Here's a question for you from Silvia. Should clarity through contrast sheets be completed in a whoosh, or is it okay to put them away and add to them as you think of things? Many thanks.
Sylvia's referring to this clarity through contrast worksheet. I designed this worksheet to help you get clear. Isn't funny? It's called the clarity through contrast worksheet because it's the very first step in the process. You see, when you want anything from law of attraction, you need to place the order. And before you place the order, you need to know what you want to order. And before you need to know what you want to order, you need to get clear about it. And the best way to get clear about it is to use the Clarity Through Contrast worksheet. Her question is, should I whoosh it? Hashtag, should I whoosh it?
Whoosh.
I think she means, should I do it just really quickly and fast? You can. You could sit here and say, oh, I want to figure out my ideal client, so I'm going to write a list of all the things that I don't like about the clients. You can whoosh that. You can whoosh it all you want there, Silvia Blaney. Or you can put it on your desk and say, oh, yeah, or maybe you just had an experience with a client today. So I'm going to add that to my list. So you can take time to build it. The truth is, it's okay to be negative briefly. It's okay to build this list of the things that you don't want briefly, because you're going to use it to come over this side and identify what you do want. So law of attraction doesn't know if you're taking, if you're going to take three days to do it, it's not like you're looking at it for 3 days, right? So it's not like you're giving attention for 3 days. You might say, oh yeah, I just thought of something. I'm going to go write that on my list. So you either do a good job the first time, or you do it over 2 or 3 days. And even after you get, a friend of mine, for example, he did this list for his ideal girlfriend. And he worked on the list, and then he went on a date, and he came back, and he noticed something that, you know what, I didn't add this to my list. And I said, well, add it now. He said, I can go add it now. I said, go add it now. So this, it's a growing, because he didn't know what he didn't know, right? He thought he covered all the things. And he said, oh, there's something that drives me crazy, and this happened on our date. And I said, A, don't marry her. And B, go freshen up your list. Because if you were on Google and you typed in you wanted 5 things on Google, and Google brought you something back and it wasn't perfect, you wouldn't take it. You'd say, oh, you know what, I'm going to tighten up my list a bit. And you go back to the words and tighten up the list. So the same thing with your Clarity Through Contrast list. Purpose of it is to help you get clear. So it's an ongoing process. So if you don't get it all your contrast and clarity in the first round and your first whoosh, then you can go back and add to it as you need. Thanks, Silvia, for the question. And again, we are talking about the 3-step formula in my book, Law of Attraction. And the first step says you need to get clear. And this is the worksheet that Silvia's referring to. And the best way to know what you do want is to know what you don't want. And it's okay to write down what you don't want because you're doing it briefly. Okay, who else, John?
Yeah, Barbara says, always think of the end goal and send good vibrations to it.
Okay.
And she's going to have to get a big flip chart as well. And Barbara also says, obviously, enough people have liked your books as they are all bestsellers.
They're best readers, too.
And Jamie Leese from Windsor here says hello.
Yes, Jamie's hosting the Windsor seminar, like I said earlier, on November 11th. If you have any questions about her about logistics, or you can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/events, scroll down and look for the Windsor page, and kind of get a good seat. The registrations are going well. There's lots of buzz around it. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. I see something here from Stephanie McLean.
Okay.
Question. I'm starting to experience more energy. And brackets, hands and fingertips, pulsating and hearing/manipulating frequencies. Besides meditation, is there a hack for fast-tracking myself to be most intuitive I can be? Because I want to go there.
Well, notwithstanding that I don't know that industry, which she's talking about, but I would use law of attraction to attract a mentor that is the way that you would like to be. She's saying that she'd like to be an intuitive, right? I don't call myself an intuitive, I'm an emotion code practitioner. But if I wanted to learn the industry, I would want to learn from a mentor, right? So maybe you can do some research, Stephanie. And honestly, people love to help. Start off with a compliment. And then say, would you be willing to spend 10 or 15 minutes with me to give me some direction about how I can grow this? And most people will give you more than 5 or 10 minutes. But, if you talk to 2 or 3 intuitives and, how, are they making it into business? And did they go to school? Do they have a practice? Do they, you have to get into the industry. So Stephanie McLean, that's your homework, is that I want you to just put on a little card. So I'm in the write this down, Stephanie. I'm in the process of attracting and allowing ideal resources that are in alignment to my interest in being an intuitive. That's it. That question will actually set the energy in motion because you gave it attention, energy, and focus. And then be curious. Watch who you meet. Watch who sends you email. Watch what you notice, right? And then they're called information interviews. You just want to collect some information. I repeat, never use the word, can I pick your brain? I repeat, never use the expression, can I pick your brain? It's offensive. And when people ask me that, I shut it down. Hashtag, I shut it down. But give me a compliment, tell me that you admire my work and how I got started, and I can talk about myself. You got me on the phone. Not me, because I'm not the right guy for you. You understand what I'm saying? So interview 2 or 3 people. They're all going to have different answers of how they got started and what to look out for and what books to read or whatever you're going to need. So that was my advice. Okay, John, who else?
Silvia says, thank you very much for answering my question. And we have Lois DeWard here. Good morning from Pleasantville, Iowa. And a question from Sig Brown. Okay. Question is, do you think everyone needs to help others as part of their life purpose? So no matter what your skills or talents, you need to work them around to be of service.
Well, see, everything's about judgment, right? I've got a lot of things that I do that aren't the normal, right? And it's just, people are, I don't have any interest in being in a relationship or being married. And people are puzzled by that, and they think that it's right or it's wrong or that I'm lonely or whatever. It's like, you know what? You just mind your own business. Not you, Sig, but all of us, right? Like, I don't need anybody's permission, and I don't need anybody's approval to do what I want to do. Although it might get in the back of my head, it's like, well, maybe you really should be. It's like, no, I like it this way. Can you re-ask the question again for me? I'm looking for something else while I'm doing that, but go ahead.
Do you think everyone needs to help others as part of their life purpose?
I don't think so. But somebody else will say, yes, it's imperative. But that's just a belief that they formed. And a belief is just the thought we think over and over again. So somebody might have heard, oh, you know what? The purpose in your life is to support others. So somebody heard that. And then they heard it again. And then they heard it again. And then they heard it again. And before you know it, now it's an ingrained belief they have. Was it true? Is it a capital letter true? No, it's a belief they have. So you don't have to do that. That's my opinion. Somebody else could have a different opinion, but you were asking for mine, so that was it. Okay.
Okay, Barbara Rowing says, I find the more emotion code and body code I do, the more intuitive I become. Yeah, me too, Barbara. Natasha Paula Samuel says, Michael, can you please go over your energy plug graphic for LOA?
Well, that's what all my ruckus is right now. Is looking for those energy plugs, and I cannot find them. But the energy plugs we were talking about. Imagine it. Thank you. Here it is, right here, Natasha Paula Samuel. The picture is a power bar, and here's the main source of power coming in. Here's all the things that are sucking the energy or using the energy or expelling the energy. So in our own lives, the question is, what is your energy plugged into? Well, one of them is my husband or wife. One of them is the kids. 2 of them are work. This one here is my health. And this one here is it's like, wow, I don't have anything plugged in for me. So again, the question is, what are you plugged into? Is one of these plugs a drain that's not being replenished? Is this that volunteer job that you do out of guilt that makes you go do that every Wednesday? Is this that class that you joined that you don't want to keep going to every week, but you are, and it drains your energy? Is this a part-time? Is this a client that's draining you? So again, I think we all know what I mean by that. It's like, is there something in your life? Is it a person? Is it a job? Is it a volunteer position? Is it a course that you signed up for that you don't want? Is it a commitment that you made, to take this 8-week program and it's just draining you? It's okay to drain your energy as long as it's being replenished. So that's what I meant by that, Natasha. Natasha, how does that relate to what you were asking? The energy plug graphic for law of attraction. So, you have to unplug. You have to unplug. Sometimes you have to unplug people. They're draining you and they're not replenishing you. You have to unplug a part-time job or a volunteer position or a problem that you're having or something that's driving you crazy in your house every time you walk by it. Thanks, Natasha. Our friend Maria Larona's in the house saying hello.
Okay, I just lost audio there. I'm not too sure if you can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
All right. Okay. Stephanie McLean says, that is awesome. That is awesome avenue of thinking. You said ask anything, so thanks for the homework. It seems so obvious, but I hadn't thought of it. Much appreciation. Thanks. Yeah. And Permelia Parham has given a recommendation for the Institute for Intuitive Intelligence.
Well, the reason, Stephanie, that I know it's a good answer, because a lot of people call me and say, I really want to be a public speaker. I really want to be an emotion code person. I really want to teach law of attraction. And, what's that world really like? And I don't mind giving them 10 or 15 minutes. And I can say a lot. I can give lots of tips and advice and recommend read this book or follow this speaker. Just you have to kind of be in the energy. So that's how that answer came up for me, for you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Silvia Blaney says, no relationship. My husband would call you a member of the Lucky Escape Brigade. It does have its advantages and disadvantages. Our friend Helena has repeated the quote about a belief. A belief is a thought that you think over and over and over again. And it doesn't mean it's the right belief. It's just a belief. And and you'll hear me use the word limited belief. It's limited because it's limiting you. The belief to look both ways before you cross the street, that's pretty handy. But the belief that you can't write a book because you never went to university, that's a limiting belief. And in my book, I do a little exercise about how to bust your beliefs. So let's take that example. I remember once when I was working for the government, a woman that a couple years later after I'd written my book and I'm walking down the street and I used to work with her and she came up and she said, oh, I'm so proud of you. You've done really well. And she said, oh, I always wanted to write a book, but I don't have a university education. So what was her belief? Her belief was you need to have a university education to write a book. I don't know where she got that belief, but it was true for her. And why was it true for her? Because she thought it over and over and over and over again. And where did she get that? I don't know. Blame her mother. Blame her father, blame school. Somewhere, someone said, or she read it, that you need to have a university education to write a book. And then she heard it over and over and over and over. And now she's telling everybody, you can't write a book. You need to have a university. See what happens to a belief? We get our heels in the sand and we say, that is a belief. Until I told her this. Well, I don't have a university education. And at this point, I've written 3 best-selling books and sold probably 4 million copies with all of them. So now what I just did, I dispelled her belief and I poked at it and I showed that her belief wasn't true. So I found proof that challenged her beliefs. So here's the truth. You can write a book without being a university graduate. Without going to, you can write a book. You still don't believe it? Find more proof. And before you know it, this new thought that you can write a book without having university education, you'll think it over and over and over again. And now that thought becomes louder. So when the thought says, oh, I can't write a book, and now the new thought's going to say, well, Michael Loche did, Betty Smith did, Ergo McIntyre did. These are all made up names except mine. And the more you find proof, and now your belief that you can't do it won't hold water anymore. Because the new belief, which you're thinking over and over and over again, which is you can write a book, is louder and bolder. Was that a question, or was I just answering something that was unasked? I'm not sure. It's pretty much.
I don't remember.
I don't. I don't remember with your long answer.
Oh, it's Helena's comment. A belief is a thought that you think over and over.
That's right. Thank you, Helena, for prompting that rampage there. So, John, you and I are having some fun tomorrow. It's one of our, we're segueing because we don't have any questions stockpiled. So, tomorrow's episode, John and I do an emotion code. So, emotion code only, emotion code, body code kind of questions. But tomorrow we are doing a fun show. Well, I call it fun. I can probably say with everybody that I've followed up with or followed up with me, after they've had this session, this kind of session, it's always a holy S-balls. You'll never guess what happened. This came to me out of the blue. What the fudgicles is going on? Like, people are always responding when they have this kind of session. John, what is this kind of session that we're doing tomorrow? It's called the
Heart Wall.
Called the Heart Wall. Tell our friends what the Heart Wall is and how tomorrow we are going to be using the emotion code to get rid of this wall around your heart. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, emotion code bros, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, right here, Facebook Live. Heart Wall session. So a heart wall is a wall around your heart. So you think about your heart as this intuitive source of you and a brain, and it won't function properly if it has a wall around it. So this wall is put up as a form of protection. So when the bombs are dropping or relationships not going so well, you build this wall around you. And so that love that originates from your heart and that intuitive source of you, when that's trying to be expressed, it's going through this wall of emotions of, heartache, failure, shame. And so that's what you're sending out to people, and specifically in relationships. So it's a big part of blocks to relationships, but it can be implicated in anything, even like chronic pain. The heart wall can cause that. So we're going to speak more on the heart wall and find 2 people to work on tomorrow and clear some heart wall.
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Bradley coined the term heart wall, but we've been using one similar. We'll say, well, I'm protecting my heart. I don't want to get my heart broken. I'm not dating anymore. So that's what this, and that heart wall has a vibration. So after we do a heart wall session, now you're sending out a new vibe. And guess what? Cue law of attraction. Now you have a new vibe that's not protected by insecurity and jealousy and guilt and shame and all. And now you've got a new vibe going on. And now, after a day, you're sending this new heart vibe, and that's why people are reporting changes. Why are people ever treating me differently? It's the response that you're getting from other people is matching the new vibration of your heart. Okay, John, I think we got a couple of fresh comments out there. If you take a look.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so yeah, Kim Whitner says, going to university would change that belief quickly. I didn't see very many students motivated enough to do well, let alone write a book. Good point.
Yeah.
Barbara Rowing says, Harold Robbins was one of the best-selling authors of all time, selling 750 million worth of books in the 20th century. Dropped out of high school, never went to college. Good job, Harold.
There you go. High-fiving Harold. Again, the more examples you hear, the more it's going to dispel that belief, or at least silence it a little bit. Jamie Frank, do you think law of attraction has a sense of humor? I always get what I want, but with a funny little weird twist. Well, you know what? Law of attraction is not very smart. It's not very funny. It's just obedient. It's you that has a sense of humor. You're the one that finds a sense of humor in things, so which is a good thing. So, yeah, law of attraction is a thing. Doesn't have a heart, doesn't have feelings, doesn't have a conscience, doesn't know whether it's good or bad for you, whether you want it or don't want it, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, whether you deserve it or don't like it. It's just giving it to you. But you're the one with the good sense of humor that sees the humor in it. Even when it's big and ugly, it's law of attraction at work. Our friend Kelly Carson had 53 heart wall trapped emotions. She remembers that number, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to hang on for maybe another 5 minutes. And you know what we're doing tomorrow on the Bro Show? We are doing the Heart Wall. And yeah, we've got some good questions today. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to hear from at least 5 people. What was something that you learned today? Something that made sense? Something that excited you? Something that you see yourself doing? So what did you write down as your notes? What are you going to tell your colleagues and your friends and your husband and wife? Who's got a question? Who's got a comment?
Not seeing
So I'm
anything.
also, John, getting prepared to come to Vancouver in October. I'll be staying in Vancouver for a few nights. I'm the guest, I'm the keynote celebrity speaker. I blushfully say that, but I'm the celebrity guest at the Vancouver Health Show. It is at the Vancouver Trade and Convention Center. Thousands of people, hundreds of exhibits. I'm doing 2 presentations. One is on Saturday on Law of Attraction, and one is on Sunday with the Emotion Code. And you can go to HangoutWithMichael.com under events. I'm doing that in Vancouver in October, and in Calgary and Victoria in February. So I'm coming on the traveling road show with them. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I think that's it. John, I think we've got a couple more things out there. People,
Yeah, a few more comments.
Hey, Kelly Carson saying that you can add to your clarity through contrast. That's right. Good point. You can add to it. Like just because you built your list and you built your desire statement, you can go ahead and add more to that. Matter of fact, it's essential because sometimes when you get the thing that you said you wanted, you try it on for a bit and it's like, it's not quite right. Boy, I wish I could change my order. Well, guess what? There is no change order or cancellation fee like the airlines. You can go in and change your order. Jamie's asked me to remind people the Windsor event, November 11th. You can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/Windsor, WINDSOR, or .com events. Get your ticket, come see us. Good. Who else, John?
Hey, Lane Carlton, like the I am in the process of attracting and allowing statement.
Yes.
Lena like to write my book. She's going to start with a cover and table of contents.
Okay.
Linda Buckner liked I'm in the process of attracting and allowing.
Okay, good. Some great takeaways today.
Yeah. Permelia Parham says, I love the reminder that it's good to change desire statements, etc. when the vibe is not high anymore.
Yeah.
And Silvia Blaney.
Yeah, go ahead, read what
Like the energy plug diagram. Okay for us to have energy drains as long as they are replenished.
That's right. And you decide what the replenishment is. Is it money? Is it love? Is it time? You know?
Yeah.
Kim Whitman says she likes your process for writing a book. Now I have a method to start gathering my thoughts. That's right. The very first meeting that I had with my friend Janet was here, who's a writer, and I was telling her about fulfillment needs, which is what I called the book. And she said, well, when are you going to write that book? You've been talking about it forever. And I said, I don't know. She said, let's do it now. Let's just do. So we put flip charts on my wall, and I sat back in the chair, and she stood up with a pad of yellow stickers. She said, well, I said, I'm going to have to give them the list of 30. So we wrote that list of 30, put it on. Well, I'm going to have to do, and I just kept brainstorming all the things that I was going to have to teach. And then we put them in order. So the first was brain dump all the ideas that I want to teach, and then put them in sections. So my book with Your Life Purpose, the first one is, uncovering your needs. And then next one, applying. So we found a natural way to put them into sections. And when she left, we did the table of contents. I have it on a big flip chart folded in my office closet, and it's the same as it in the book right now. So that's how we started. So
That's
definitely do table of contents first.
Yeah, but that was like a strategy in itself, like, because you're somewhat auditory, right? So you just spitballing.
There was 2 keys to asking my friend Janet, because she's auditory, and auditory people are good at doing 2 things: brainstorming and writing words down. She was perfect for it, and she was a writer, so she had a lot to add. Yeah, her and I talk about that all the time, about how that was an awakening for her to do it on a yellow sticky instead of in a Word document, No, have it up on the wall. And that's my style. Need to see it.
This is the How to Write a
Okay,
Book
John.
episode.
What's that?
This is the How to Write a Book episode.
Hey, I could do that too. If there's enough people interested, I can do a little half hour. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you about? John, read the other comments, and I want to get ready to.
Yeah, Barbara says you can upgrade your order. That's her takeaway. Dia Lewis says great Q&A today. Thanks for the energy bar reminder. And Lowest Award liked the energy plug diagram as well. Silvia says thanks for the show. Definitely worth a replay.
Thank you. People.
Linda Buckner says she liked I'm in the process of attracting and allowing. And yeah, that's all I can see.
Okay. Now, I'm going to post the link to this, but on October 1st, I'm starting a 5-session class on, where's my book?
You just had it.
I know. Your Life's Purpose. Couple requirements. You got to get a copy of the book because it's a book club. You have to download the worksheets. I put together, I think, a 10-page workbook, and I'm going to spend 5 classes, 22 minutes to 25 minutes each, live on Facebook, going through the book, and we're going to do it in 2 weeks. If you check the dates, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week, Monday, Wednesday. I don't really know the dates, you'll see it, but we're doing it tight and fast. You don't need to spend 5 weeks to figure this out. We're going to do it in 2 weeks. When you register to join, you'll get the link to the worksheet package. If you don't have the worksheet package, you might get frustrated. So it's free. This is a free class. Get the worksheet package. But I'm also thinking I should do another class on how to organize your data for a book. I bet
November?
What's that?
How's November looking for you?
Yes. So maybe Helena will spearhead that with me. She's good at supporting me. Good stuff. John, let's see if there's a couple more questions, and then we're going to sign off for today.
Yeah, Kelly says, can't find her book. Going to have to order another one. And Helena says, I have the book, Your Life's Purpose. It is excellent.
Thank you, Helena. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for chilling out with us today. And again, we're going to see you next Friday here on the Hangout with Michael show. Tomorrow, the Bro show. And we're working on the heart wall. Kim Whitmer says, please do that. I would love it. She'd love to see that. Oh, I think Kelly Carson's going to say something here too. Book class for sure. My second book needs to be organized. Yes. Okay, planting the seed. Seed has been planted. You know, my favorite thing in the whole world to do is to develop programs, to develop seminars or help people develop their program or develop their book, their idea from that to a book or to a seminar or to a speech or to a presentation on stage. That's kind of my passion. So you can see I kind of got lit about that. So John, thanks you for chilling out with me today. I'm just checking the comments. We look like Jamie would like a book club too. A book, yes to the book class. See what you started, Helena. Helena must have knew that would fulfill my needs. Hey, I know I can get Michael to help me write my book. I want to see if I can get him to fulfill his needs. I think you might have nailed it. Okay, John, I will see you tomorrow morning here, and we're going to do the Bro Show live with the Heart Wall. John and I will continue to monitor and comment on anything that you ask us in this chat today, so be sure to say hello and let us know that you're watching. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.